Welcome back to the Bluegrass on this cold and rainy May morning. I'm out working on the Inductive Retrieve again. We're going to start today with Hunter, a Jack Russell Terrier, and then we'll do some stuff with Annie, my mentor dog, and then I'll show you some puppies I've been working with. Now the reason I brought out Hunter today is because a lot of people asked me if, you know, the Inductive Retrieve works with all dogs. Well, of course not. You know, nothing works with all dogs, right? And that's for a variety of reasons. Some dogs just don't like to put things in their mouth. Some people don't have much in the way of talent when it comes to, you know, expressing their expectations to the dog or motivating the dog, okay? But if you have a dog that kind of likes to chase and bite stuff, then usually you can turn that into a nice little retrieve, okay? But it's not how that you think it's going to happen, right? So like with Hunter and a lot of Jack Russells, when you first get them, man, if you throw something, they're crazy. Come on, buddy. They love to go chase things and bite things, you know. But the problem is once they go get it, they like to possess it. So they'll like go get it, and then they'll run off and try to tear the stuffing out of your plushie, or they'll chew your retrieving item, or they'll maybe try to get you to chase them. So with the Inductive Retrieve, what we start with first is like the fundamental element of what I consider good retrieving, which is a polite hand it to you, right? So I put the retrieving item down, and I'm trying to convince the dog that ultimately when we go to playing this game, the end goal here is for the dog to go get an item, wait patiently, and then hand the item to me in a polite manner so that I'll throw it again. Does that make sense? You see, so he gets really excited when I'm going to go throw it. Now he's going to get mad at me because I'm not throwing it. But like, if you take this little dog and you just, you know, start off a dog like this and you just start off throwing stuff, it's really hard to get this part, because when you get them really excited, they go fast, you know, they go fast to get the retrieving on them, but then they just ain't very good at giving it back. So what we like to do is teach everything kind of backwards. We start off with, listen, I would like for you to pick something up and hand it to me. And once the dog understands that, then when I throw it, okay, and he goes and gets it, he's working from the non-familiar and excited back to the familiar and calm. And that always is a good thing, because then they start in understanding basically a cycle of the boring, calm stuff leads to the fun, exciting stuff, okay? And so how we get reliability with the Inductive Retrieve is we just kind of progressively make the exercise a little tougher, right? So in the beginning stages, which I'll show you with some puppies later, like they can just touch the retrieving item with their nose, anything. We're happy and we'll click and treat. Okay, but as the, you know, kind of as the method unfolds, what we do is we'll hand them a retrieving item, and then they have to hold the retrieving item. And every day we'll count. Like we'll start off with 1, 2, 3, and then we'll work our way up to a higher number. A couple of days later, it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm looking for here is just for him to kind of get in the habit of holding the item nicely and calmly and waiting patiently for me to access the retrieving item and throw it for him, okay? Now Hunter's been doing this for a little while, so he'll stay up on this table, you know, for a long time in anticipation of me going out in the yard and throwing this item for him, okay? But still, like, even though I'll show people this and they'll say, well, Stonnie, I don't see how, you know, like the reliability comes from this part of the exercise. Not only do I add time, but I make the exercise itself more difficult. So see, I'll maybe start with something that's pretty reasonable. Like, I mean, if you look at this dumbbell in position, in relation to the dog's head, that looks about the right size, right? Okay. And this dog, we call this schoolwork. He's doing his schoolwork, and he's like, well, that's a little boring, but I kind of like the treat, so okay, I'll play along. Then I just maybe get something that starts to, hey, come here, nerd. We're not doing that one. Okay, I get something maybe starts to be a little bit unreasonable, right? So I'll get a little bit bigger dumbbell. And he says, well, Stonnie, that one's pretty big. I don't know that I want to, you know, I want to hold it. And I had to look at him and tell him, dude, if you don't hold that, then we're not going to go out in the yard and play fetch. So you're going to have to hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then tomorrow it's a little longer, and every day it gets a little longer, right? Once he gets good at, you know, something that's a little unreasonable, now we start to get to, you know, like kind of problematic. Look at this big old dumbbell here, you know, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's like, all right, okay. And this, if you think about like back when you were in school, you know, you learned your times tables, and that was cool, right? And then they were like, hey, we need to learn a little bit of algebra. You're like, okay, I got it. And then it's algebra 2, and you're like starting to stretch it a little bit, right? And then it's trigonometry, right? So think about this like algebra 2, and then Here comes trigonometry. There's no practical reason for most people to learn trigonometry, right? There's no practical reason for a teeny dog like that to pick up a giant dumbbell. But what it does is it starts to kind of convince the dog that I would never ask him to do something that he can't do, right? When he first looks at this dumbbell, like they'll go over and they'll, you know, like nose at the little dogs. But I can't, Stonnie. I'll be like, look, dude, you can trust that I will never ask you to do something you can't do, right? So I'm gonna take this big old giant dumbbell, I'll put it down there, and he's gonna say, I can't do it, Stonnie. And I'm gonna say, well, fetch it up, dude. I think you can. Look at that, ain't that crazy? Look. Now you tell me that the inductive retrieve is not reliable. Let me see if I can get you a front like look at it. Pick it up, dude. How can you look at that little dog holding that giant dumbbell and tell me that an inductive retrieve doesn't build a reliable to retrieve? I mean, I think it does. Now, is it as reliable as if, you know, like a good Labrador Retriever, you know, like fetch it? No, it's not, right? But in the right situations, like you're just sitting around playing with your dog doing fun stuff, it's plenty reliable for you to have an awesome time. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we'll get the Labrador Retrievers out, which is what most of you guys are here to see. But I do want you to have faith in this method because it really does work if you have the patience to see it through to the end. All right, now we're back onto the Labrador Retrievers. You guys all recognize Annie. Annie is a field-bred Labrador Retriever. She's one of my mentor dogs here at the kennel. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know she's a pretty good fetcher. She's really excitable, and she's got great endurance. I mean, she's just an awesome dog, okay? And that's what I like about the field-bred dogs is that they always come out, well, not always, but most of the time they come out with a lot of drive for the activity. And so on your retrieving, you almost always get a lot of speed and enthusiasm. What can be hard to get with this kind of dog, though, is precision, and that's what we're looking for long-term, you know, goal-wise with the inductive retrieve is get speed and enthusiasm, but also precision. Okay, so we really have to take and spend a lot of times in between our outdoor fetching times where the dogs are getting to just retrieve on their natural instinct, like working on the precision of a hold it and a hand it to me, right? So hold it, hand it to me. I appreciate that, right? Then what we like to do, like in between our outdoor sessions, and we're outdoors right now because we just do everything outside, but like for you, you'll probably be inside. You just kind of work on hold it and hand it to me, and then we kind of add in carry it, right? And that's what we're going to work on with some of the younger dogs today, but we're going to work kind of towards what I'm fixing to show you right now. So I've got some retrieving items in this bucket, right? And I'm going to go over to this other table, and I'm going to recruit my daughter to help me, and what we're going to work on is this dog you know, taking a retrieving item and then taking it from one person to the other, right? So I'm going to ask her to take that. Let's go. And we're going to go over here and we're going to get up, and we're going to get on this table right here. Up. Very nice. And I'm going to ask Annie to take some of these retrieving items to Charlotte, okay? Now, the same basic theory applies here with Labrador, as what we saw with the Jack Russell, is we start with something really easy, okay, and then work our way up to harder things. Annie, come here. Take that to Charlotte. Very nice. Okay, now Charlotte can hand it back to Annie. Oh my gosh, you're a very good dog. And we'll kind of work on like carrying the retrieving item from table to table, and then we'll work on handing the retrieving item from person to person. And then every session, or every few sessions, I guess I should say, we make the exercise just a little bit more difficult. So I might give Annie the retrieving item and like make her wait. So I'll be with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Very nice. Now Charlotte's going to give her the retrieving item, and she's going to come back to me, Annie. And again, I'm going to make her wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now in that situation, you can have both trainers, like make the dog wait. But Annie, since Charlotte's a little younger, so a lot of times Annie will be kind of fidgety with Charlotte. So what I do is I kind of watch the dogs, and I task the handler with how much responsibility I think they're going to be able to get. So if one handler, one trainer is going to be able to get a little bit more of something, okay, then in our session, we can have differential expectations. So I've been doing this a little while, so I can kind of make this dog wait in my body posture, my tone, lets her know she's supposed to wait there patiently, okay? And with Charlotte, she's a little younger and doesn't quite get as much focus out of Annie, so we let her send the dog back a little quicker. One, two, three, 4, 5, 10, whatever you want. Go to a little bit heavier dumbbell. Wait. And again, this is the kind of table work. This is the kind of table work that's fun. You're not gonna get a bunch of little kids to come help you do, you know, a force fetch, right? But this right here, you can get anybody to help with. And they can't even really mess it up, because even if their timing is bad, it doesn't matter, because the dog is still doing its best to engage with the other trainer in a cooperative manner. And like, if you can get your dog to like look at a training session where it's a 360-degree win, you're going to end up being successful in the long run. Okay, and like I said, we went from, you know, reasonable with the other little dog to unreasonable. Now we're going to do the same thing. It's a big old heavy dumbbell. And it's not that I need Annie to fetch this big dumbbell. It's just that I want her to understand that I would never task her with something that she can't do. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 30, 50, 100, whatever. You build your reliability a little bit each week. Very nice. Okay. All right. All right. So this video is running a little bit long, so we won't go out in the yard. You guys can see a million videos of Annie retrieving out in the yard, and I'll go get some of these younger puppies so that you guys can get some information that's more like tailored to probably where you are in training. All right. Let's get some more dogs. Very nice, good dogs. All right, come on up here. Okay, guys, we are back with Toby Keith, nice little chocolate Labrador Retriever. All right, so we're gonna see if we can't make some improvement on Toby Keith's ability to hold the retrieving item and carry it. So I'm gonna throw this retrieving item a couple of times. Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to hand it to him a couple of times, and maybe we'll see if we can get a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. That's good improvement. Now what I'm looking for here, guys, is to like get rid of that right there. A big mistake a lot of you'll make is when the dog's doing that, you'll fuss at them. And then when you make them nervous, they do it more, you know, that chomping. A lot of times it's out of excitement, but you got to remember, like, excitement is just a different form of like pent-up energy release, right? Like, you know, but you start like getting a dog too excited to do something fun, they do a little chomping. But if you fuss at them, then they chomp because they're nervous. So it's best to kind of let them mature out of that, in my opinion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. We start making a little progress on the wool sock. Now I want you guys to remember from the other videos I showed you, but this wool sock has a wing in it, okay? Now the reason I put the wool sock around the wing is to protect the wing, because when these puppies are young, they're always like chewing on stuff. So look, it's like pss, 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 pss. Now see, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see he's moving that around and like wanting to chomp on it and shake it. That's just, you know, it's just his natural like inborn tendency to like kill something, right? Like chase it, get it, a wolf picks it up and shakes it, right? Okay, well you have a little bit of that in your Labrador Retriever. I mean, they're a wolf and they're kind of far removed from a wolf, but like, so don't get mad at them, right? They mature right out of that. Now, so I want to kind of start to convince him that he might need to fetch something else. Now, a lot of you guys that have Labrador Retrievers, you're ultimately working towards maybe having a dog that you do some hunting with. So the wing or a bird, is going to be like the thing that you end up like, that's your end state, right? You're like, I want a dog that fetches ducks really well or whatever. Okay, but probably more of you who like to fetch with your labs are wanting to have the dog fetch various types of retrieving items, and sometimes even for utility, like maybe your car keys or whatever they say about service dogs. But a lot of it's just going to be for fun, right? So I want the dog to be able to pick up kind of maybe hard plastic items. So we start with a dumbbell, and the reason that we start with a dumbbell is because the dumbbell doesn't give them a lot of options in terms of where to place their mouth. One of the most aggravating things for people when they're trying to do a good retrieve is like the dog goes and gets the retrieving item, and on the way back it's kind of holding the thing and the thing's flopping around, so they have to stop and readjust. Well, if you start with a dumbbell, it kind of helps the dogs learn to pick things up at the natural balance point. You see when he starts to like picking it up at the edges, how his mouth doesn't fit on the big parts as well, right? And so it goes a long way towards just teaching the dogs, get something in the middle and hold it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna move that around. Now that little bit of chewing, again, that's what I'm trying to get away from, but I'm not gonna really address it. It just naturally goes away as the dog gains more confidence. And also something for you to think about, like, here, let me get him up here where you can see him. Another reason that we start off with the wing is because, like, especially when they're in that chomping, like excited chomping phase, you don't think about this, but look, see he's got little teeth that are going away and big teeth that are coming in, right? So like if you remember, like if you've ever been around like little babies that are teething, their mouths are sore and they can get a little grumpy, they can get a little cantankerous. So like you're just always going to be better off like giving them something softer to retrieve until they get the hang of not chomping down. So even when they're teething, as long as they don't chomp down on a hard item, it's not uncomfortable. But in the beginning stages, when they're excited, especially if you throw it, like they'll chomp down and it hurts, and then they open their mouth. Then they open their mouth and drop it, and then they pick it up, and that becomes kind of this weird thing that you want to avoid. All right, so let's work on, come on nerd, you don't need what's in that bucket. All right, so let's work on taking something from me and carrying it, right? So I'm gonna hand this to him. I'm gonna go to the other table, and then Charlotte and I are gonna work the same drill that we worked with Annie. So I'm gonna get him excited. Okay, take that. All right, let's go. Let's go now. I'm gonna get him excited so he doesn't forget about it. Or he forgets about it and he carries it. Very nice. I get over here. Very nice. Appreciate that. Good job. Okay, now, so I'm gonna kind of like get him a little excited, probably put this down on the ground, and then Charlotte's gonna call him, right? Now we're just practicing like having the dog pick something up and hand it to another person, right? And this translates well into picking stuff up if you're sitting in a chair or a wheelchair or whatever. Psst, psst, call him. Very nice. And you can click and treat. Very nice. Oh my gosh, what a good dog. What a good dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, very nice dog. Very good dog. Now I'm gonna get him just a little excited here. And now that's touch and go there. You gotta be careful because as you get them excited, you gain speed and enthusiasm, but you lose precision. Come here, nerd. Very nice. Oh my gosh, come here, big boy. You're the good boy. You're a very good boy. Very nice. Okay, so that's pretty good. Remember, with retrieving, less is more, so I'm gonna head on out in the yard, and we're gonna be done with our boring schoolwork, even though it was kind of fun schoolwork today, and we're just gonna do some retrieving that taps into his natural instinct to retrieve. Toby Keith, come on. Come on, come on. Very nice. Okay, now there's variations on these drills based on whether or not you have any helpers. Okay, so let's say, for example, wait right over here for a second, Charlotte. Let's say, move over that way, just a second. Okay, let's say that I don't have a helper, right? So I come out and I toss my retrieving item. Oh my gosh, come here, Toby Keith. I have to get excited, I might have to bend down, okay, and I'm encouraging, good, this retrieve, okay? Now, give you a side view. I don't throw the retrieving item too high, too far. And I have to be patient here because he knows I have a partner, and so he's kind of going over to my partner, anticipating the next drill. Come on, Toby Keith, you can do it. Now, I'm losing him, so look, I'm gonna make myself more exciting. Oh my gosh, Toby Keith! Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Very nice. Now, like in an instance like that where you kind of losing your dog to things in the environment, basically that's what's called a relative motivational deficit. And so, like you're this important. It's not that you're not important, you're this important. It's just that other stuff's a little bit more important. Okay, all right, so that's how we did it in the other video, right? I threw a couple towards the camera, threw a couple sideways. Now, if I have a partner, okay, we're going to incorporate the carry it to the other person drill. Come on, Charlotte, come over here. So, like in this instance, I'm gonna get Toby Keith's attention, right? Okay. So Charlotte, follow me right to about here. I'm gonna throw this, and then you start calling him, and you back up a little ways. No, not yet. Let him get the retrieving item. Toby Keith. So, boom. Now, Charlotte calls him. Very nice. See? Okay, so now, like, Charlotte's over here and she's walking around. Oh, well, she just handed it to me. Okay, so you're just gonna, like, walk around and then kind of toss it down, right? And then I'm gonna call him. There you go. Oh, you gotta make sure he sees it. Oh my gosh, what a good dog. He's a very good dog. Oh my gosh, very good dog. So I'm gonna toss it down. Oh my gosh, very good dog. Very good dog. Now, Charlotte jumped ahead a little bit right there where she just handed it to Toby Keith. A lot of times, you have to go through the kind of throw it down stage or drag it around on the string stage to get the dog excited. Like Charlotte read that situation. Charlotte's kind of got a lot of dog training experience and she was just able to hand it to Toby Keith, so I'll try to do the same thing. Toby Keith, what you doing? My gosh, take that to Charlotte. And so Charlotte's gonna take that and then we'll try to get one more rep. Toby Keith, you're a good boy. You're a very good boy. Come on, you're a very good dog. Very nice. Okay. All right. So that's kind of how these drills start to shake out. Once you... Come on. Oh, look, he says he's going to come to you, Charlotte. Oh, you got to give me one. Give me one fetch. Give me one fetch. Give me one fetch. Oh, my gosh. Come on. All right, well, you take it. Look, I got showed up in my own video. When you're doing partner drills, guys, don't be surprised if the dog is drawn to one partner over the other. I mean, dogs are just like people, you know, and Toby Keith likes Charlotte a little more than he likes me. You know? All right, come on, Charlotte. I'm sending you to the house. You're making me look bad. All right, we are back with Riot. And Riot's a pretty good dog, but be careful what you name your dog because it kind of has an effect. But Riot's a good boy. All right, okay, so let's see if we can get Riot to pick that up and hand it to us. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, see if I can just hand it to him and hold it. Where are you going, nerd? Hey, get back up here. All right, so in that instance, like Riot, he held it for a pretty long time. He went out and visited Charlotte and, you know, kind of made a big circle and came back, but he did hold it a long time, right? So you got to pick your battles, guys. Like if I would have fussed at Riot for getting down and going away, well, then he probably would have either started mouthing the retrieving item or he would have dropped it and I would have lost what I was working on, which was just hold it, right? So I'm asking him to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. Okay, you still see that shaking. Don't worry about that. It'll go away, I promise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very nice. Okay, now let's see if we can convince him to transfer. Now, if they're still doing a lot of that chomping, don't give them a hard item, because when they chomp down on it, it's going to be uncomfortable and they're not going to want to pick it up, okay? So I have a little bit harder item here. Ask him to pick that up. Now notice with the dumbbell that he picked it up. Don't go in. Where are you going, nerd? Get back up here. Come on, come on, come on. Now, see, again, there. Pick your battles, okay? Because he's holding it. He just got a lot of energy, right? So he's like, how about I just hold it and go in a big circle? I'm like, okay, whatever. But what I want you to see, we'll see if we can keep him on the table this time. Right? But I want you to notice that once I ask him to pick up the dumbbell, since the dumbbell's a little heavier, he has to keep a little better grip on it. And the sides of the dumbbell direct him to hold it in the middle at the balance point, right? So that's why we kind of like the dumbbell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You notice not much of that like chomping, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. All right, now I'm going to ask him to carry it over to the table. And now what I'm going to do when I hand this to him, right, I don't want him to think about much. I want him to like this is a concept called pattern overlayment. I want him to think about our base obedience pattern, and I want to get over to that other table before he has a chance to think about like spitting this out. So I give it to him. Oh my gosh, come on, you can do it. You're a very good dog. Up, 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 up. Very nice. Now watch me calm down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. Okay, perfect. And Charlotte's already in place. It's starting to rain. Now look, there's a key thing. If you want to be a good dog trainer, don't whine when it starts to rain. Very nice. Call him, Charlotte. Very good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, come on. Okay, and if you'll notice there, as I tried to get to 5, he's running back over there to Charlotte. Okay, so again, that's not a real big problem because he's showing enthusiasm. You have to resist the urge to fuss at dogs when they're when they have problems that are related to youthful exuberance. Like if they're happy about the exercise, like don't give them a hard time. Very nice. Very nice. All right, we're going to do one more rep, Charlotte, then we'll go in the yard. Now look, so Riot went to bite it. He went to bite it on the edges. It didn't work. Now Charlotte's just going to ignore him here because he's thinking, I'll just go over there. Charlotte's pretty nice person. She might just give me a treat for coming over here and being me. And I'm like, nope, dude, you have to carry this over there to her if you want her to give you a treat. Very nice. All right, see if we can get one more. Oh my gosh, very good dog. All right, now kind of the boring schoolwork is over, and like I said before, though, it's pretty good schoolwork today. It's kind of fun. Now we'll go out in the yard and we'll work on carrying it from one person to the other. Very good dogs. Very good dog. Very good dog. Now, one of the things I really like to do to draw attention to the utility of the exercise and to make sure the dog understands the idea of like bringing me something is I like to put them in situations where like the choice to pick something up presents itself, okay, and then they act upon it and they think they're kind of doing it independently. So for example, we're going to take off walking and I'm going to drop this dumbbell and I'm going to have Charlotte run a little ways and call Riot, right? Come here, Riot. Okay, so I'm just out walking and I'm going to drop the dumbbell. Now, go. Very nice. Okay, now Charlotte's going to kind of do the same thing. She's going to take off walking, and she's going to kind of drop her dumbbell. Then I'm going to go, Riot, come on, you can do it. It's a very good dog. Come on, come on. That's a very good dog. Very nice. Okay, so in this instance, this little variation on the drill, I'm not starting off with a bunch of excitement like throwing the retrieving item. Come up there this way, Charlotte, so we can see you. I'm not starting off with a bunch of excitement like throwing the retrieving item. I'm dropping it, which is a little exciting, but not really, right? And then Charlotte comes in once the dog has picked the retrieving item up with some excitement, so the dog stays focused on Charlotte and like we're going again from like the excited and kind of unfamiliar to the more familiar thing that we've been working on. Of course, you could have done that before we started the video. So I'm out walking, okay? Come this way just a little bit, Charlotte, and then go straight back. And I drop my retrieving item. Now, as we start to make progress, then of course we're putting in a lot of variations. This time Charlotte's just going to hand riot the retrieving item. Now, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera exactly right, but you'll see sometimes Riot is trying to pick the retrieving up on the edges, and it's hard, right? And so then his attention will be redirected back towards the middle of the retrieving item. And that's, again, that's why we like the dumbbell so much. Come on, buddy. Very nice. Oh my gosh, you're a very smart dog. Now, I like to pay them for delivering it to me and then tell them that the treat's gonna be presented over here in the service heel position. Okay, now, so we'll toss a few. Now you notice, oh my gosh, look at big Riot go. He's a good boy. Now, watch how, like, once we start actually throwing the retrieving item, that taps into his natural desire to retrieve, so we get more speed and enthusiasm. But remember what I told you, there's kind of, in the beginning stages, an inverse relationship between speed and enthusiasm and precision. Riot, come on. Oh my gosh, look at that good dog. Come on, you can do it. Very nice. Let me do it from the side here. Oh, well, you going to Charlotte too? Listen, Charlotte, everybody's gonna be paying to come see you next. You gotta start buying me stuff. Oh my gosh, very good dog. Pay him, deliver his treat. Very nice. And it won't be long till you can convince them just to deliver and accept their treat in the same spot, and it'll look something like that. Very nice. Okay, all right, now we're gonna go in and get Winston, nice little English chubby, and believe it or not, we've put more work into him than any of the other dogs, and the results are less in terms of objective performance, but they're more rewarding because, like, he didn't start off with a ton of retrieving potential. All right, let's go get another dog shot. All right, now we're back with Winston, and Winston is awesome. And when I say awesome, I mean he's just an awesome dog, and I really appreciate working with him. But that appreciation is built on like how much fun it is to be around him and watch him make progress, not on objective retrieving results, right? Because he's not a strong retriever. But guys, look, people call me all the time. They say, Stonnie, like, could this dog be a retriever? Could this dog be a hunting dog? Could this dog... Listen, I mean, yes, of course, it could be anything you want it to be. You just have to have the proper expectations. Being happy in the dog business is about having met expectations. So just make sure that your expectations match your work ethic and your dog's genetic potential. So this guy, he's not going to be some kind of hard charging retriever. Oh my gosh, but he's making a lot of progress towards playing a little fetch, you know, and that's good enough for me. Oh, that's a very smart dog. All right, so that's pretty good. Now, I don't know if this is going to work at all, but I'm going to try to get him to pick up this dumbbell. It might work or it might not. He says, are you crazy? That thing's hard. That thing's hard, Stonnie. I don't want to put something hard in my mouth. I don't want to put something hard in my mouth. Okay, now look, so zero interest. So what do? Do I double down on it? Do I be like, no, we're really working on this today. No. Put it back in the box, okay? Because it's not that important, right? Maybe I'll get that later on, and maybe I won't. But either way, is it the end of the world if I always have to play fetch with this dog with something soft? All right, now we're gonna go back and we're gonna try to do the same thing. I'm gonna try to convince Winston to carry this retrieving item over to the other table. Oh my gosh, that's a good dog. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Get up on the table. Very nice dog. Very nice. Look, and so I met him halfway, and you know, it's kind of successful, right? I wanted like, you know, of course I want you guys to be impressed, right? So I wanted him to go straight from the sock to picking up the dumbbell, making me look good. But guys, you know, like you just gotta, you know, work within the limits of what you have. All right, so I'm gonna try to do the same exercise we were doing before. Now, Charlotte, you might have to really sell it with this dog. Okay, okay. Winston, what are you doing? Yes, she has treats, and if you want a treat, just take something to her.
Winston, come here, buddy. Come here, Winston. Come on.
All right, let's try it again. Hey, look, nerd. Now, big sell it.
Winston, come here.
Sell it, sell it.
Do it. Come on. You can do it.
There you go, good. Very good.
Good.
You can do it. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You're the smartest dog I've ever seen. You're a very smart dog. Well, okay, I'll give you partial credit. I'll give you partial credit for that.
Winston, come here, buddy. Good boy.
Very nice. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, I did too much, Charlotte. I did too much. He's like, okay, where's the treat, dude? Hey, remember the deal we have. I give you treats when you bring me stuff. So you're gonna have to go find something and bring it to me. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. He's like, well, how about I just get something and take it to Charlotte? I'm like, okay. That's why it's an advantage to have a partner in your drills if you can. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Bring that here. Bring that here. Bring it all the way here. Oh my gosh. You're a pretty good dog. All right, we're going to try to get one more successful rep, Charlotte. You ready? Okay, so I'll throw that down.
Winston, here, bud. Come on.
He says, okay, I'll come, but I don't know that I'm going to bring that retrieving item. Come on, you can do it. Come on, give me one. Throw me a bone, dude. Oh my gosh, throw me a bone. Throw me a bone, come on, come on, come on. You can do it, get one for me. Will we call that a success?
Yeah.
I think so. That's a very good dog. Come on. Come on, dog. Oh, come on. We're going to have some big time fun doing some fetching. We're going to have some big time fun doing some fetching. Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, wow. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I just don't want to do that boring schoolwork up on the table. Let's do some real fetching. Let's do some real fetching. Very nice. Okay, Charlotte, you come down here. All right, now I'm going to kind of toss this towards the camera. You stand on this side. Stand on this side for me. I'm going to toss this towards the camera, and then when he gets it, I want you to run kind of in a straight line backwards and see if you can encourage him to get it. Or encourage him to bring him to you. Okay. Now go.
Winston, here, buddy. Come on. You can do it. You can do it.
Very nice. Now, see if you can hand it to him or toss it a little bit, and I'll see if I can call him. Okay, give it back. Let's try it there. Let's go back. Let's do it that same way again. The great thing about the inductive retrieve, guys, is the whole world is open in terms of how you approach like teaching it and making it reliable. And go.
Here, buddy, buddy, buddy.
Now, one thing that Charlotte could do a little better is you'll notice that I pre-stage my treat well before the exercise starts. Come on, you can do it. You're a very good boy. Very nice. Very nice. Very good boy. All right, come back up this way. We'll do it one more time. Now, go ahead and pre-stage your treat. Yeah, there you go. Now, as you get, one of the most frustrating things about the inductive retrieve or marker training in general is like trying to manage like your marker and your reward. Over time, you'll get to where you can hold both in one hand. All right, one more time. There you go, go.
Winston, here,
He took a shortcut. He just come to me. All right, but we'll try. Ready?
Yeah.
Set. Psh, go.
Winston. Yeah, buddy. Good boy.
Very nice. Okay, that's it. Oh, okay. Good. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. Come on, come on. Okay, all right. So, listen. That's like a little bit further, like look at the inductive retrieve. I hope you found these demonstrations that we did today useful. Like I said in the other video, I think it's awesome. You know, you just can't go wrong with it. What other retrieving method, okay, can you find happiness in yourself, the dog, and just any random person that you ask to participate, right? So if I told you, I said, hey, do you want to help me shock that dog so he'll fetch better? What would you say?
I'd say no.
What if I said, you want to help me pinch his ear till he retrieves better? What would you say?
No.
What about pull on his toe?
No.
What about click and give him some treats?
Yes.
There you go, guys. I'm not saying other stuff doesn't work. I'm just saying that if you start off with an inductive retrieve, it's a 360-degree win. Okay, I'll see you guys next week.